Less than 24 hours after taking on the Minnesota Mild down in Minneapolis, the boys hopped on a plane to Denver, Colorado, as they get set for a meeting with the Colorado Avalanche down at Ball So Hard Arena, as what I have nicknamed it. Hello, what up, and welcome to Pre-Gaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant. Brett nodded his head right there. Pre-Gaming is also a presentation of Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today and use the promo code NATION. Let's get caught up in the chat. Brett, we joked about it earlier. He was going to be the first guy in. We knew it. Austin, let's fire up the fucking band, Bordzy. It's game day, baby. Let's go. Joe, he says, hoping for an avalanche of goals in Colorado. Let's go, Oil. Gene Principe approved right there. Fighting Amish, LFG, and then Lance Cade. He's been making me laugh all day. He's sad to report I have bad news for everyone. Tyler did not call me to hang out. I like to think something just came up and he is too busy. Mr. Burns says he was probably just nervous about asking. Lance, I also got your DM asking to hang out tonight. I am a little bit busy this evening, but I see we got to chill in the chat. Kiana, a regular, we love her, says going to be a tough one tonight. I do agree. Back-to-back, high altitude against the Colorado Avalanche, who are red hot. She says going to be a tough one, so let's get them. Cup, yeah. Cup, yeah. There it is, intern Reese. He's getting the memo. He's picking up on it. Vibes going early. Cup year vibes, Mr. Burns. Cup year. Cup year. Cup year. Southpaw, little cup year. Lance, little cup year. Our other intern, Payton's in, saying Bordzy, Davin, Skinner, Hattie tonight. That's right, people. Just got some late news that the boy, Jeff Skinner, is going to be back in the lineup. We got a lot to unpack there because should he have even been out? Who knows? Whatever. He's back in. There's so many cup years in here as well. And then Slurmsy says fresh cut. I actually got my hair cut over the weekend, but I was wearing a hat the last two shows. But people are telling me I'm looking fresh. And also shout out Kennedy's dad in here this evening. Kind of flying solo, I guess you could say. But I'm joined by the one, the only, Brett Holden. It's a Brett and Bordzy show this evening. I know the chat is going to appreciate that. Literally buckle up because I think things are about to get off the rails. Bert, how we doing, my brother?
I'm not too bad. Missed the first period of last night. I'll be transparent. Had ball hockey last night.
Did you win?
No, tough one for the boys.
Tough look for you.
I know. Yeah, I didn't have a great game last night. I half step behind, legs hurting today for sure. But yeah, I absolutely missed a shot too. I had a chance off the face-off and just it missed bad. I sat there and went, I've been waiting for that opportunity for years. And
how many goals you got on the year?
I think we should. I think there's a different question that would probably. The better question would be, when was the last time you scored a goal? And that would be when I worked in Lloydminster in 2018. So
shout out Lloydminster. We were watching our old news broadcast earlier today. But Brett's going to be with me. We got intern Reese here as well. Figured we just do a Brett and Bordzy hangout show, and we got a little something for you later that we teased earlier in the week that we're finally putting out into the world. But the top story tonight, how is Connor McDavid's elbow feeling after taking that brutal shot from Marcus Johansson's face? I'm just kidding. Also, pour one out for Johansson. Apparently, he's now on IR after that hit. He did not come back in the rest of the game. So that one was a big storyline last night. And tonight, it's about the elite of the elite on the ice. One of the most exciting matchups you can get in hockey. McDavid versus McKinnon, Draisaitl versus Rantanen, Bouchard versus Makar. The goaltenders right now, both red hot in Stuart Skinner and Mackenzie Blackwood. But the crazy part is, those four big names, McDavid, Draisaitl, McKinnon, and Rantanen, are four of the top 5 point getters in all of the NHL. We are seeing the best of the best. 2 top 10 teams who are both red hot. Both come into this 7-2-1 in their last 10 games. So like I said, buckle up for the three of us and buckle up for that hockey game later tonight. But Bert, you weren't with me last night for this one, so I am a little curious about your thoughts. We kind of talked about it, you and me, earlier, but there was a couple things that went down in yesterday's hockey game, if you didn't know. Obviously, another tougher start for the Edmonton Oilers. They go down 2-0, but like usual, they fought, they clawed, they scratched their way back into the game. They ended up winning 5-3, and like I said, it was more than the goals that were scored last night. McDavid did have a McDavid night. He gets 2 goals. Calvin Pickard was fucking incredible in that game, especially the third period. But what I liked first about the game, down but never out. I say it all the time. It sucks you go down, but these Edmonton Oilers, they're always in games. And Nobby had a great quote where he said, and I quote, "When things aren't going well, they don't pack it in." I absolutely love the character of this team as they dig deep. They went supernova last night. Probably the only time in the last 2 weeks I've seen them go supernova. And I noticed the other lines out there on the ice because Nuge, Pods, and Harvey were tearing it up. But then, Brett, there were some dicey moments throughout this hockey game. Obviously, there was the Josh Brown penalty that put the Oilers on the penalty kill, subsequently put them down 2-0. Fans were pissed. This chat was pissed. The internet was furious. The Edmonton Oilers answered back 20 seconds later. Then later, there's the McDavid elbow to Marcus Johansson, which I think we can all take off our biased hats. That was 100% an elbow from Connor McDavid. Even if it's a little chicken wing, whatever it is, letter of the law, that's an elbow. That's a 2-minute penalty. There was also Ryan Hartman slew footing in quotations, I guess, Leon Draisaitl. And it's a tough one because Ryan Hartman, I called him, let's use the word scumbag 18 times last night, but he's got a track record of plays like that. But you could say, hey, maybe he was kicking the puck in that moment. Not with that last name on the jersey. I don't believe you. So I'm curious. We'll go through those plays. Thoughts on Josh Brown one first, then McDavid. But Josh Brown, were you as frustrated as everybody else? Because while a mind-numbing penalty that you just can't be doing, hindsight's 2020. He gets that fight. We're all going, attaboy, way to do it. It was just that the Oilers had a scoring chance on the other end. And then furthermore, I thought Josh Brown was totally fine the rest of the game. I think he played close to 17 minutes in it. First initial thoughts on Josh Brown's play.
No, and I think it would be very hypocritical for us as well, because, and we said this with, I believe, the Kapanen play as well, where we have both been begging for some grittiness, for a little bit of something, anything. Yeah, gritty on them. No, I understand it. It kills a scoring opportunity, stuff like that. That's fair. That's understandable. How many other times is that going on during a scoring opportunity? It's not like while you're getting face washed and in the middle of a scrum, you can sit there and go, oh, whoa, hold on. They're going. It's 2-on-1. Chill. Yeah. Okay, they shot it. Let's go again. Like it's very. It would be very hypocritical and almost like nitpicky for us to sit there and go, what are you doing? Because we want great. We want to see.
And that's Josh Brown's game through and through.
100%. Like maybe if it's Matthias Ekholm or Zach Hyman, and you're sitting there going, why? What are you doing? 100%. You're right. That's what we expect to see from Josh Brown. That's what we want to see from Josh Brown. That's not what we're seeing from the rest of this lineup. That's great. And some people even noted as well that the team kind of seemed like they kind of warmed up a little bit after that and woke up a little bit and said, hey, this is a guy who's going out and sacrificing, but he's not getting a lot of time on the ice. Is it maybe a dumb penalty, blah, blah, blah? Sure, 100%. But he's going out there and playing 100% and trying to have some pride while he's out there. All right, our turn. Let's go and get on the score sheet, because right now we haven't shown that at all. We're already down 2-0.
I agree.
And at that point, not at that point.
And then the other one, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Your thoughts to McDavid elbow as well. I said through and through, that's a penalty. Got a hell of an acting job for Marcus Johansson, which maybe I now have to take back, because if he's going to be placed on IR for like a week or so, probably not feeling too good. And the elbow, if you've ever been hit by one before, doesn't feel too good. Brett, thoughts on the play from McDavid? The McElbow, as the people are calling it.
As somebody who has caught one of those elbows before playing basketball, not from Connor McDavid.
I lost my front tooth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, they suck. They 100% suck. Your neck cranks, your jaw pops. You're like, whoa, it's kind of jarring a little bit. but 100% transparency, while I was watching that next to my girlfriend, I just chuckled. I just went, that was dirty, Connor. And I love it. I love it because it was very subtle. It got to the point. It got to the point where people
hit
were
himself with his own stick.
Outrageous.
There's no stick there, dude.
Outrageous. Even my girlfriend was like, "What are you laughing at? Like, is he okay?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know, but that was dirty." But even on the broadcast initially, it was like, "Oh no, like that's just incidental and everything." And you see him bring that chicken wing out. I was like, "I think I tried that 2 hours ago in my hockey game." But no, it was listen. I hope he's fine. I hate concussions. Brain injuries are terrifying to me. I hope he's okay. In a hockey sportsmanship sense, I'm like, that's awesome. Yep. Shitty, but awesome. Let's move on from it. Let's everybody move on from it. It was great. Whatever. Move on from it. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. And hopefully it doesn't turn into a bad situation.
Turn the page, brother. The NHL decided not to fine Connor McDavid, which was a little surprised about that one. But as I mentioned last night, what the hell is $5,000 to Connor McDavid? What's that going to teach him? But it ain't. There's no rest for the wicked right now, man. The Oilers back in action tonight. The Colorado Avalanche in high altitude. The boys did not skate earlier today, right? Second half of a back-to-back. So we weren't sure if we were going to get lineup news now, maybe later, but shout out to our boy, TB Tony Brar. Hit it for me, Bert, because we got some news. The boy, the man, Jeffrey Scotty Skinner, draws back into the lineup in for one Kasperi Kapanen, who was on the fourth line with Noah Philp last night. As well, Troy Stetcher in for Josh Brown. I'm sure a lot of people will be chirping the shit out of Josh Brown for that penalty. I stand by. I thought the rest of his game was okay. It was fine. That's what you're looking for from Josh Brown. And then finally, Stuart Skinner is going to get the start. And we got to look. We're expecting that Jeff Skinner will be on the fourth line with Corey Perry, Noah Philp, and why am I blanking on the other? Oh, and himself. Himself. Oh, yeah, that's how that works. And that'll be out there. I was a little curious if maybe Jay Skins would get some run on the Edmonton Oilers' third line. Discussed a lot on ONE earlier today about Matthias Janmark. We all know how Tyler Remchuk feels about Janmark. He has one goal on the season. It was on an empty netter, and I thought that third line got a little bit caved in last night. Brownmark featuring Rico. And I was curious to see if Jeff Skinner might be able to bring some offensive punch to that. Obviously, we will get line rushes in just a bit, but with Chris Knobloch, you can tell me whatever you want to tell me with your pre-game lines, whatever you want to give me your depth chart. But as we all know, that does not mean shit. Chris Knobloch has decided to go supernova a lot in the first period lately, and that's because the Edmonton Oilers have been digging themselves in holes lately. I also pointed out the last couple of games, it was a big debate. Our boy Liam was very frustrated with how early Nobby's been going to the well, breaking glass in case of emergency in the first period, not allowing these other lines to cook, find their chemistry, find their footing out there. And we did see it for a stretch in these other games where no other line was finding their footing. Last night, that was not the case. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Vasily Podkolzin, and Victor Arvidsson, they were all over it, brother. They had two goals that completely changed the momentum of this game. Nuge goes bar down on a tip, and Vasily Podkolzin scores the most Vasily Podkolzin goal you'll ever see. Just throwing it on net, banking it off the defenseman's skate. And I'm curious if Nobby saw anything there last night that's going to make him more willing to go to supernova early. Because I'm worried about the Edmonton Oilers start in this hockey game, right? We have seen it a shit ton lately in the first period, going down multiple goals. They went down 2-0 to Chicago, 3-0 to Pittsburgh, 2-0 to Minnesota last night. And yes, they're always finding a way to claw back into it. That ain't gonna fly against the Colorado Avalanche and this team, especially the way they're playing right now. And then you add in the fact they're about second half of back-to-back, high altitude. You got guys like Matthias Ekholm who are ill that are game time decisions. Brett, I'm curious your opinion about the Edmonton Oilers start tonight. It has not been good recently. And like I said, you go down 2-3 goals to the Colorado Avalanche and Mackenzie Blackwood on the other end. More on him in a bit. Dude is red fucking hot right now. That is a tall task. Start is so key to me today.
Yeah, and it's strange because it's almost falling into a similar pattern that the Oilers had fallen into. I want to say it was the year that they actually lost to the Colorado Avalanche in the playoffs, where they just didn't start games on time. They ended up winning hockey games.
I was so rich from live betting the comeback. Hell of a year.
Yeah, but it felt like it was every single game they were fighting from behind. But the weird thing at the same time is I don't have the exact stat off the top of my head, but I believe it was something along the lines of in 15 of their last 17 games, I believe it was, if I'm doing the math right again, they scored the first goal. And yet they're still not starting on time. They're still kind of starting a step behind. They kind of looked like me in ball hockey last night, just a half step behind for everything. It's strange. I don't understand it. There's not really a weird schedule that's going on for the Oilers. A second of a back-to-back is scary to me, and especially when you're coming out in the first game and starting like that is concerning. And maybe not concerning, if that may be a strong word, but just something to a pattern to watch. I don't know why. You can only sit there and say you gotta start on time so many times. Like,
I'll throw every cliche in the book at you.
You can't coach that. Like, as far as I know, you can't coach starting on time. You can't. It starts on them. It falls on them, really. So I'm genuinely confused how to even change it. I don't know.
I don't know. I saw somebody in the chat just put, is not be considered starting Supernova and then going back to the other way? Makes you think. Gotta do your own research. Another good point in here was we dislike some of Nobby's decisions, but are we disliking all the W's? Great point, K. Waddy. Because, Brett, you got the schedule for me? I want to take a peek at some of those big orange W's because the Oilers are in the midst of this big 6-game gauntlet. Game 3 of the gauntlet. One loss in the month of January. Took down LA Monday, Minnesota last night. And it's Avs tonight. Vancouver on Saturday, where, Brett, should I get my special guests? No, we're not even going to talk about it. Washington Capitals on Tuesday, then the Canucks again on Thursday. So this is a massive stretch for the Edmonton Oilers. And when we initially looked at this schedule, we looked at Minnesota, Colorado, and we said we might drop, we'd win one, lose one. But the way they all been playing lately, I am feeling confident. The Oilers also this season 4-4 in the second half of back-to-backs. Out there on the ice tonight, though, we've got star power galore all over the place. I mentioned 4 of the top 5 point getters in the NHL. That doesn't even mention Cale Makar, Evan Bouchard, Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, whatever you want to say. Nathan McKinnon, he leads the NHL in total points with 70. Leon Draisaitl, hot on his tail with 65. McDavid not far, 62. Rantanen, 61. In any game featuring this many stars, right, you're going to think about betting the over. It's 6.5. It's even -110. You see all these names, you go, there's going to be goals tonight. But when I look at these two goaltenders and the way they are playing right now, Stuart Skinner and Mackenzie Blackwood, I am a little bit hesitant on betting on the over this evening. Mackenzie Blackwood on fire. I don't even know if that properly describes his 12 games with the Avalanche. Brett, I think we got a graphic in here that has some of Mackenzie Blackwood's numbers. He has posted in 12 games a 9-2-1 record, a 1.68 goals against average with a 938 save percentage. I do believe he is yet to allow more than 2 goals in a single game. So the Edmonton Oilers, they're going to be in tough trying to get their offense going. And then on the other side of this matchup, Stuart Skinner has been incredible since the calendar switched to November, to be specific. What I got here, 238 goals against, 913 save percentage, well above league average, which is dropping to right below 900, right above 900, whatever day you want to check those stats. Stuart Skinner, also shutouts in 2 of his last 3 games. Winter Stew, he is feeling it. And when you look at it tonight, we've got offense, we've got goaltending. Brett, I think we're going to see some fireworks, but do you kind of subscribe to my theory here? Both of these goalies are incredibly good. You've got incredible offensive talent. Something's got to give. I just don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, but here's me playing devil's advocate. Yeah. First of all, goaltending is voodoo.
Fact.
But when goalies are hot, goalies are hot. The other thing is normally when those goalies are hot and playing, they aren't playing against those McDavid, Draisaitl, McKinnon, Rantanen, whatever, right? That's a caveat to just make a caveat. But my genuine thing with this goaltending matchup is it's two goalies who, one in Stuart Skinner that everybody goes, oh, he's so inconsistent and this and that and the other thing. He's bound for a bad game, as most goalies are, but it seems like sometimes Stuart Skinner is a little bit more prone to kind of that off game here and there. Second of a back-to-back where the team may be a little lazy in front of him, potentially a stinker fraud whatever alert thing here. With Mackenzie Blackwood, as he's obviously been hot, and we have been saying for the last year and a half, really, he needs an opportunity, and he's been getting this opportunity with a really good team. He was really good with the San Jose Sharks, but again, that's with the San Jose Sharks. Right now he's with a really good team. How much of that is a boost with the new team? You know, the goaltender is feeling himself a little bit, and you know, it just feels like the fact that he was the goaltender for the San Jose Sharks and had been prone to utter chaos is also sitting in the back of my head. But in the same breath, fantastic stretches of late. Goaltending is voodoo. If I'm going to be 100% honest with you, we have no idea what we are going to see. We're just projecting for fun. And I know that's not fun realistically to be realistic.
Baby. That's gambling, baby.
But yeah, that's 100% also it, where I'm sitting here going, well, let's try and make.
I've been torn all day whether to go over or under. Yeah, I'm just not doing either one. I'm betting shots. That's what I'm betting throughout this evening. Bella, when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, totally. That is 100% bang on. Lance said, "Have we considered that simply goalies are voodoo?" Do your own research, Lance. Do your own research. And then Dude Guy 77 made no sense. He says Bordzy wants pictures of Spider-Man. Parker. Parker. I don't know why Bob Stauffer, he's in here. He says he's pumped for this matchup. Lance, Oilers are going to remind him why they didn't trade for him. Also, Blackwood in 4 career games against the Oilers, 3.33 goals against average with an .898 save percentage. Let's go now to our need to know information, courtesy of our friends from Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Only the finest tasting meat products earn that Wilhauk name. Made from 100% pure Alberta beef, their jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated, and smoked to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. And for more information, head to WilhaukBeefJerky.com. It's time for a standings update. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Hit it for me, Brett. Let's take a look at the Western Conference. The Oilers, 28-13-3 on the season, 59 points, 2 back of the Vegas Golden Knights. Kind of felt like we couldn't get here, and all of a sudden we're about to be here. Feeling really good. Knock on wood. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, or whatever you want to say.
Feeling nicey.
Shout out John Gruden. They are 6 up on the LA Kings as well. However, the LA Kings do have 3 games in hand. This is the second of 3 meetings between these two teams. The Oilers won the first matchup back on November 30th by a score of 4-1, where our team was on the nation vacation for that one. They were down at the DNVR bar, and I was full of FOMO, fear of missing out. And you bet I'm not missing out on the next nation vacation. More on that a little bit later. But weirdly enough, that game came on the second half of a back-to-back. The Oilers were in Utah the night before, defeated the hockey club 4-3 in overtime, and then traveled to Colorado and took care of business down there at Ball So Hard Arena, as I have nicknamed it. Also, the Oilers in their last 5 regular season games in Colorado, 2-1-2 record. Also saw a best bet on our website tonight that said take this game going to overtime. because these two teams tend to compete. You see it there, 2-1 and 2 losses in overtime or a shootout. Leon Draisaitl, 29 points in 23 career games against Colorado. So I guess kept in check to Leon Draisaitl standards, while Connor McDavid, he's got 33 points in 22 games, but he does have 13 goals there. We just got the news from Tony Brouwer. We will get the lineup to you when we in fact know. But we do know Stuart Skinner is going to be in the net, 17-9-3 record, 268 goals against, and a .902 save percentage. Please, can we stay above 9 this evening? Since November 1st, 238 and that 913. The other side of the coin, the Colorado Avalanche, 27-17-1 on the season. Fourth in that incredibly competitive Central Division. They're currently in the first wildcard spot with 55 points, which would put them 4 back of the Edmonton Oilers. But the Avs have also played one extra game. I mentioned they're hot, 7-2-1 in their last 10. They defeated the Rangers 3-2 in overtime on Tuesday night, where Devon Taves, Team Canada, scored the overtime winner in that one. We went through it. Nathan MacKinnon, we know, leads the NHL in points with 70, but he only has 15 goals on the year. Reese got some good numbers. More on that later. It is a little bit surprising when you think about it. And he's 4 points up on Leon Draisaitl for the league lead. And then Cale Makar, he's tied for defenseman scoring with Zach Werenski with 50 points. And since the Oil and Avs last meeting, it was kind of the TSN turning point for this Avalanche team. They go out, they make trades to fix their goaltending. Brett, you mentioned it. But when I look at Blackwood and even Scott Wedgwood right now, I go, was Georgiev really that bad this entire time? Nathan MacKinnon in interviews lately has been like, straight up, we're just getting saves now. That's kind of the difference. And that obviously goes through your locker room. But since that last Oil Avalanche meeting, the Avs have gone on a big turnaround. 14-5-1 in that span. And the huge reason for that turnaround is Mackenzie Blackwood, 938 in those 12 games. Even Scott Wedgwood has been very good since joining this team. He has a 9-17 in 7 games with the Colorado Avalanche. And then tonight, like I said, we expect Mackenzie Blackwood. Let's go now to our Sherwood Ford Giant storyline this evening, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant. Tired of dealership hassles? Well, Sherwood Ford in Sherwood Park is all about convenience and upfront pricing with their Giant Deal program. Get clear, no-nonsense pricing on new and used Fords online with all incentives included. Plus, enjoy the ease of mobile service, free pickup and delivery, and same-day or next-day service appointments. Sherwood Ford the Giant for a reason. Should I get him to fix my alternator belt? Because I still haven't done shit about it. It's been sitting outside the office here. As back-to-back games has really put a wrench in Bordzy's plans. But nice. My storyline kind of going into this one, there's so many, like I mentioned, all these elite players going at each other, the 2 goalies, something's got to give. I do think a key to victory, and it's so cliche, it's so obvious, whatever you want to say, but special teams could very well be the difference. But the Avs lately, in the month of January, have a 9% power play, which is baffling when you look at the names on that roster. Overall on the season, they have the 11th ranked power play, the Oilers 8th, Avs PK 17th, Oil 25th PK. But the Oilers, over the last 32 games, were the least penalized team in the entire NHL. They averaged just 2 exactly penalties per game, which has been a huge reason. The turnaround for the PK, just don't be shorthanded a ton. And then we noticed last night, first period, the Oilers decided to take 3 minor penalties, get scored on twice when Minnesota's on the power play, and really kind of put them in a hole. They're going to need to be smart tonight. You can't take penalties against this team. I read 9% in the month of January. Then I look at power play 1 for the Colorado Avalanche. I don't care what the numbers say. If Sean Pangs was here, I'd go nerd for those, because you look at the names, they're going to find a way. So I think margin for victory, the start, going to be absolutely crucial. and being smart is going to be just as crucial. Can't be taking Josh Brown-like penalties. We talked about it, but you can't be doing that. Brett, do you got a storyline? Do you got a key to victory for our boys this evening?
Yeah, and mine's going to be a little bit of a cop-out and a little bit contradictory of what I was talking about with starting on time, but it's starting on time. I want this team to start on time, because then if you start on time, you won't have to make up for your start later on in this game. The second of a back-to-back, high altitude, tough team to play against, and you're in the middle of a road trip as well. Like,
different time zones.
100%. Like, start on time, and you don't have to worry about later on in the game where you're sitting there, the lactic acid is starting to build up, and all the legs aren't moving as much or as well, and now all of a sudden you're in a 1-0 or you're down a goal late in the game. Well, if you would have take care of that one goal that happened the first 5 minutes of the game, well, maybe you're not in this situation. So for me, it's starting on time, not for the fact of winning the game and not falling behind, but starting on time so that you can not worry about later on in the game. You're kind of preserving yourself of sorts.
Just looking through some here. Rusty says staying disciplined is key to this game. I could not agree more. I don't want to see the Oilers. The PK's gotten a lot better. I still don't want to test it against the Colorado Avalanche. Kennedy's dad said keys to the game. Chell also asked Brett, what year did you graduate from Nate?
2017, 2018?
2015.
Hey.
2015. We'll see if you graduate, buddy. Boom. Should see the fear in his eyes right now.
No, that was great from my angle, because that felt like an Office sketch, because I fucking looked at you said that, and I just looked right at him, and he just went backwards.
Okay, so we could go into the Edmonton Oilers lineup. As I mentioned, Brett, just one more time, I want to just throw up Tony Braar's thing. What we know for sure, we don't know the exact alignment. I would assume Jeff Skinner is going to be in on that fourth line in Kasperi Kapanen's spot. I still hold out hope he gets the third line shot, because more on it in just a second. I still don't understand why he's been health bombed for 3 games in a row, because he had points in 3 straight, played 8 minutes against Pittsburgh on the fourth line, and then has been kicked to the curb. But Brett, we got something else that we need to tackle here. First, something we've been talking about for quite some time now. We teased it recently on this show that Brett and I were thinking about making a little bit of a bet. As we all saw, Brett, you offered up a part of your body recently for Vasily Podkolzin goal. Share with the folks.
Yeah, so I don't know why I just had an inkling, a feeling in my cubes that, you know what?
That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Vasily Podkolzin might pot one today, and I've been really liking what Pods is doing. So, you know what? Today, and this is a recreation of my mind on the day that I did it. If Vasily Podkolzin scores a goal today against the Pittsburgh Penguins, then I'm going to get a Vasily Podkolzin number 92 tattoo on my chest. Unfortunately, Vasily Podkolzin didn't score. But it got us starting to think, going, hey, maybe we can get something going between us. But we weren't really sure what we should do.
It got Brett and I a little interested in the way that we could make a wager. As you know, we bicker back and forth like an old married couple a lot of the time, spend a lot of time together. I don't even know how it came up, what it was, arguing my allegiances to my boy, Brett Kulak, who I love that man through and through. I would straight up take a bullet for that man if I was put in the position to do so. But it started with us arguing about a couple Oilers defensemen and the blocked shots category. So my boy Brett and I have come up with a little bit of a fun wager that we're going to be doing for the rest of the season. It's a tattoo bet, people. And for me, I don't have a single tattoo on my body. So this is putting a lot on the line. Brett has lost a couple before due to bets.
Yeah.
So we know he will pay up his bet. And what we decided to do from here on out till the rest of the season, we are each going to pick an Edmonton Oilers defenseman and track from this game on who has the most block shots between the two of them. Whoever does wins the challenge, wins the bet. And the loser is going to have to get a tattoo somewhere on their body, Oilers related. But we do need a little bit of help picking what the tattoo should be. So I would love to hear some of your ideas in the chat. This chat is extra ridiculous from time to time. Now, We can put it anywhere on our bodies, correct?
Sure.
We
Yep.
both decided can go anywhere you want, wherever you want, legs, whatever. The other part of the deal that I want to do is that we get tattooed live on Pre-Gaming with Bordzy, ideally the first game of the NHL playoffs, where I hope the Edmonton Oilers will be. I'd like to get a tattoo artist down in studio and see if we can get it done. So without further ado, we will now name the 2 players we will be riding with for the rest of the season. Brett, would you like to go first?
You go first because I feel like everybody knows who you're going to pick as he reaches for his.
Oh, you mean this guy that has a signed autograph to Bordzy from who? Brett Kulak. I'm riding with Brett Kulak for the rest of the season. I wouldn't ride with anybody else. I've got some signed memorabilia here. I'm going with Kulak. So this is from this point on. What they've already done does not matter. We're going second half of the season. Maybe not exactly second half of the season. I looked through the numbers. Bouchard, weirdly enough, I think is leading the team in block shots. Thought it was his own shots getting blocked. Turns out not. But I'm riding with Brett Kulak. Mm-hmm. Brett, who are you riding with for the rest of the year?
So if this was happening last year, I think most people would know who I was going to pick. Vincent Desharnais. But no, I don't have a guy anymore. I have Vasily Podkolzin, but nobody on the back end. So I actually went a little, not analytical on here. I just went who had the most block shots since December 23rd. And it was Brett Kulak. But second place was not Evan Bouchard. It wasn't Matthias Ekholm. It wasn't Darnell Nurse. And shockingly, I couldn't believe it. It wasn't Josh Brown. Who it was is who I'm picking, Ty Emberson. There it is, signed right there. I'll even put the date. Ty Emberson is, you know what? Once he signs this deal.
It makes me nervous how good he's getting, and you picked him. It does make me nervous.
He is going to be getting, he's trusted a little more. He's playing later in games when a lot of scrambles are going on in front of the net. Easy numbers right there. He's going to sign his contract and get a little bit more time as well. I think this one is going to be the lock. You are falling a little bit. I think you're going for the red herring a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, fair enough.
I get Brett Kulak's face tattooed on myself so we can really know. A lot of you people throwing in ideas in here for tattoos, seeing some matching bro tramp stamps. No, only the loser is going to get the tattoo. So there's no matching here. There's one tattoo and one tattoo alone.
Yeah.
Chell, tattoo should be of Yaremchuk's face.
Yikes.
I'll get that lasered off so fucking fast. You don't even know. Will says, I'm a slut tattoo.
Yikes.
I don't think I want to do that. Bordzy, get a Steve-O back tattoo? Yeah, dude. I'll get Brett's face on my entire back.
On your shoulder blade.
Who's that? Oh, it's my producer.
Yeah.
Who's always got my back live on the show, so we might have to do it that way.
I like that.
Dude guy said Bob Stauffer's face.
Yikes.
I don't know about that.
A lot of face tattoos.
Yaremchuk's face again.
See, my suggestion for it would be like the opposition player's number.
Yeah.
So like I would get 27, you'd get 49.
Yeah, something there. Any point you want. We'll mull this over for a little bit and we'll decide. I want to get you guys to give us ideas because we can get extra hilarious with it. And yeah, as I mentioned, I've never had a tattoo before. The clean cut look through and through here. So let's start doing it. Let's get out there.
I have 2 tattoos.
Explain where they are.
I have one tattoo that's right here that I actually got as kind of not initiation, but for a video for the 90th minute when we first joined the Nation Network. And then the other one is a nose in my armpit.
Yeah, that one looked painful, I guess.
You know what?
There.
Didn't feel a thing. Almost told him to flip me over and do the other one.
You're so strong. Fighting Amish. I do like this. The oil up tattoo.
I like that. Oh, near where though?
I didn't read that part, Brett. I didn't get that far along yet.
That is an elite nickname, bro.
Kennedy said Flames logo. I'd rather die than have to do something like that.
The room,
so keep them all coming in. Oil up tramp stamp was also thrown in there. I don't want a tramp stamp. No. I think I'm feeling thigh, so I can still do the show while getting tattooed.
Yeah, I was going to do chest because I think it'd be hilarious for a big guy to get tatted on the chest during a show. So I think that'd be great.
I'd be so down for that. Okay, we did that. We got that out of the way. So we're going to be tracking this all season long. It's from here on out. We're going to get a graphic made in every post-game show. We're going to update this bad boy. And See who's getting inked, brother. And we did just get some news regarding the Edmonton Oilers lineup. I'll just read it to you. You can imagine. Top line, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with Connor McDavid and Zachary Martin-Hyman. Second line, Vasily Podkolzin with Leon and Victor Arvidsson. Third line stays the same. It's Brownmark featuring Rico, Matthias Janmark on the left wing, Adam Henrique centering, and Connor Brown. And then the way they have it for the Edmonton Oilers is swapped. Corey Perry on the left wing, Noah Phillips centering, and Jeff Skinner back in the lineup on the fourth line. Then your D pairings, it's Ekholm, it's Bush, it's Nurse, it's Stetcher, it's Brett Kulak and Ty Emerson. We love the third pairing, Brett. Every time they're on the ice. I'm excited to watch games with you now and just start freaking out every time. Reese, your eyes are on block shots from here on out for the rest of the season. Peyton, you as well.
The whole time they're going to be out and there's a block shot. We'll be like, who was it? Who was it? Which one was it?
I'm going to be emailing the NHL about, I disagree with your statisticians. That one went off of something. We're going to need to really deep dive into this. But Brett, Jeff Skinner, he's back, baby, back in the lineup. I mentioned it's been such a tired and exhausting discussion about Jeff Skinner this year. Not gone nearly the way we thought it would. I saw Jason Greger the other day, or maybe it was Spec. I also saw somebody put I heart Spec, or everybody reads Spec for the tattoo as well. Hey, everything's on the board. Everything's available here. But during their interview, I think Spec said there's a 1% chance of this signing working out the way that you thought it would. I think we're well past him getting his top 6 minutes. And I was frustrated when he got taken out of the lineup. I mentioned he was doing the things that Chris Knobloch was asking to be done. He wanted to see more confidence, wanted to see more defensive commitment, not big bodies, active sticks, effort. And Skinner was doing those things. He had a point in 3 straight games. Then the Oilers go to Pittsburgh. They're down 3-0, 8 minutes into that hockey game. Nobby switches up everything. Skinner was really finding chemistry on the third line. Then he decides to throw him on the fourth line, plays 8 minutes. Bang, he's been health bombed for 3 straight games. And Nobby's been very clear. He always wants to get guys back in the lineup, doesn't want to keep them rusty for that long. Obviously, second half of a back-to-back on the road. Perfect shot for Jay Skin to get back in the lineup. But yet again, Brett, here he is on the fourth line. He's going to be playing with Perry and Philp. I'm expecting them to get, 9-10 minutes tonight, especially if they get put out there against McKinnon, Rantanen. I feel like tonight don't expect much from Jeff Skinner, but as our boy Reese did point out, what is his track record against the Colorado Avalanche?
Jeff Skinner has 8 points in his last 6 games against Colorado.
Let's go. Got you feeling good. Shout out to Reese for that one. But Brett, Jeff Skinner, expectations, thoughts on the move, getting him back in? I thought if it was going to be for anyone, it would be for Corey Perry.
Yeah.
Older gentleman, second half of a back-to-back. I think Kapanen has been totally fine. I thought yesterday I wanted to see him get upgraded to the third line to play with that speed, use some of those offensive capabilities. Hashtag in Nobby we trust, but thoughts on Jay Skin back in the lineup?
Yeah, and as Nobby obviously mentioned it, you don't want guys getting rusty or sitting out too much, or too long, and especially a guy who has scored a lot of goals in his career and a guy who's trying to find his way. He has had some very, very tough times so far as an Edmonton Oiler and has been put in situations that he hasn't had to deal with in maybe a decade. So it's tough for Jeff Skinner, and I'm happy to see him back in the lineup. I don't know what needs to be done. It's almost again to the point where it's just let it be. He's a bottom 6 guy right now. That's okay. Do a job. We'll add in the whatever. We'll get Kane back, and whatever we do by the deadline, we'll figure it out from there. But I think you're also seeing what could happen with how Noah Philp plays in that bottom 9 or bottom 6, I guess, as well. Just sitting there and going, okay, this is what he's bringing. He can play well in his own end.
2 good bets to play with.
100%. And then you're adding Evander Kane to that later on, and who you may add later on as well. So to me, it's just kind of let it play out, and whatever happens. It's not killing your team. You're not losing games because Jeff Skinner isn't being productive. So whatever, it is what it is. Just let it be and let it ride, baby.
I am a little concerned about like Noah Philp, right? He played his first game back last night. He only played 8 minutes in it. He didn't get the PK shifts that Nobby had kind of teased. I thought he was totally fine. I'm worried tonight if that fourth line gets stuck out there with those three guys. Slow as molasses, Corey Perry, Jeff Skinner, not greatly defensively capable, and then rookie Noah Philp. If you get McKinnon, Rantanen, they're on different lines. So the likelihood of them getting last change as well, kind of cherry picking those matchups. I'm nervous for that one. But Noah Philp, let's see what you got in you. You got big size. Fight fire with fire. McKinnon's also got some size. Same with Rantanen. Play physical against those two guys and see what you can do. Let's go now to the starting goaltender report brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Hit the trails this winter and the waves next summer. As fellow hockey fans, the team at Power Sports Marine are helping Oilers Nation fans gear up. They're home of an ATV for as low as $50 bi-weekly, or cruise the open water on a boat for as low as $105 bi-weekly. Sherwood Power Sports Marine are hockey fans, helping hockey fans get set for their next adventures with motorcycles, quads, e-bikes, and boats. We kind of already touched on it here. We can go quickly. Skinner versus Blackwood. They are both absolutely red hot right now. The numbers for Blackwood do have me a little bit nervous. In his career, though, 333 goals against, 898 save percentage against these Edmonton Oilers. Tough one. Goal scoring is going to be tough. I say it all the time, and Brett, maybe you'll agree with me. We got to go quick, though. When you get a red-hot goaltender, when you got to play against him, I don't know if there's much of a strategy that you can have besides guys like Corey Perry. Give him a hack. Give him a whack. Yep. That's really the only thing I can do to try and get a goaltender that's this hot off of his game. You get him yelling at the officials. You get him barking over there. The moment he starts talking back to another player, not focused on the pucks in front of him, that's the only strategy I've got to try and beat this guy tonight.
What's our inside joke? Buzz the tower.
Buzz the tower.
Just buzz the tower. 100%. You're right. And we were saying that during the playoffs, even with Archer Seeloss. We were like, just get in his face. He's a young goalie.
Give him a shot.
Get in his head. Oh, no, Corey Perry's on the ice. He might come down and hammer me. 100%. Once you start getting the goalie to think about something other than stopping the puck, you win. 100%. I'm 100% with you. Crash the net, make Blackwood uncomfortable, and do your thing. Let the big dogs then eat afterwards, and then let Philp and Perry and whoever go out there battle in the blue paint. 100%. I love that. I'm 100% behind that.
You know what else I love? You said big dogs. I'm going to wait till the end to go throw the tattoo ideas.
Okay.
Hunter said big dog tattoo because y'all dogs. Attaboy. Reese then pulled his... Give me a bark. There it is. There it is. Shout out Reese. Skinner, we know, also red hot. Shutouts in 2 of his last 3 games. 2.5 shutouts so far on the season. Let's go now to the away lineup, courtesy of our friends from Greta Bar Yeg, my favorite spot in the entire city. Great for pregame, great for postgame. And people, we got a party coming up. It's going to be brunch for Ben down at Greta Bar Yeg, February 22nd. Doors open 10 p.m. Puck drop is at 11 a.m. It's all in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation. February 22nd, Edmonton takes on Philly. Going to be an awesome morning filled with excitement, laughs, community spirit, and your kids are welcome. This is a kid all ages event. We got a coloring contest going on for the kiddos, arcade games for literally everybody. The legendary Oilers Nation Plinko board going to be there. We got raffles with prizes. I'll be pre-gaming. We'll be post-gaming there as well. Tickets are $20, supporting the Ben Stelter Foundation. You can get them at nationgear.ca. I mentioned doors open at 10 a.m. Pretty early call time for us to be pre-gaming at 10 a.m. in a bar. And I'm so excited for this event. It's a blast.
It's one of my favorite events. Like, I was thinking back to last year, some of my favorite moments from last year. This is genuinely one of my favorite events that we do. I hope to see you there. I'm not trying to sell it for you. I genuinely just wanted to say it's one of my favorite events.
It certainly is. And as I mentioned, great cause, all in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation. Let's take a peek now at the projected Colorado Avalanche lineup. Hit it for me, Bert. Top line of Arturi Lehkonen, Nathan MacKinnon, and Jonathan Drouin. Joel, say it for me, Brett.
Kiwi Ranta,
Mikko Rantanen, and Logan O'Connor. Ross Colton, who started the season red hot, has cooled down recently with Parker Kelly and Juuso Parssinen. Look who is centering the fourth line for the Colorado Avalanche this evening. It's Yuri Inola, Casey Middlestat, Jason Pullen. But Casey Middlestat, more on him in a second. That's a little bit crazy to see him on the fourth line, centering that one. And then your D pairings. It's Team Canada's top pairing, Devon Toews and Cale Makar. Sam Girard, his first game back from injury with Josh Manson, Calvin DeHaan, and Keaton Middleton. The Casey Middlestat thing to me is a little bit crazy because he's been largely disappointing this season. And it's funny to say that because he's fourth on team scoring. It goes McKinnon, 70. Rantanen, 61.
Shocker.
Cale Makar, 50.
Shocker.
And then it drops all the way to 26 points with Casey Middlestat, the guy that the Avs traded Bowen Byram to acquire this guy, their second-line center of the future, I think was the plan. Been a little disappointing, only 8 goals, 26 points in 45 games this year. And he signed an extension this past summer, 3 years at $5.75 million. Now, I still know he's got plenty of talent in there, but he seems to be on the outskirts in this lineup right now. I mentioned Ross Colton, 8 goals in the first 10 games of this season. He now has 5 in his last 18. Came out of the gates hot. I joked to you guys, I heard league winner and Ross Colton in the same sentence in so many fantasy podcasts and discussions. That is not the case anymore. Could have seen that one coming. And then Sam Girard, he returns to the lineup, been out the last 3 games with an injury. I believe he's third on the team in ice time, 21-10 per night. He's also expected to man and quarterback the Avs power play too. But it's a big return for the Avalanche here playing with Josh Manson. That is one hell of a top 4 defense score for the Avalanche. Got to expect Connor and Leon going to be seeing a lot of those guys. But Brett, I always ask, who is your player to watch? And you can't pick McKinnon, you can't pick Rantanen, and you can't pick Makar.
Fine. No, I'm going to go with Arturi Lehkonen. I knew it. I'm going with Arturi Lehkonen because Liam pointed out a pretty interesting stat. And the last number of games, I'm not going to give you exact numbers because I don't remember the stat. I'm paraphrasing here, and I don't want to get Liam in trouble. So the last X amount of games, Arturi Lehkonen has 6 goals and no assists.
That's where McKinnon's getting his points.
Intriguing. So if I can't pick McKinnon or Rantanen, I'm going to pick the guy who's clearly putting the puck in the net. And what is that term? He is living the fruits of said labor, whatever it is. Arturi Lehkonen. Yeah, let's go, baby. I read books. I'm going Arturi Lehkonen because it's just going to be 29, 96, 97, 29 show tonight. 8-2.
I'll take Jonathan Drouin.
Hey, there we go.
As well, right? You look at guys, Parker Kelly, I know he's been a little bit better. Logan O'Connor, he's in the top 6. But as much as we say players to watch who aren't those 3 guys, those are the 3 your eyes are going to be glued to all night tonight. Fighting fire with fire, star power all over the ice this evening. I'm excited. I'm seeing some people in here. Also, somebody just said, what did I walk into in the chat? As the tattoo ideas, they are flying through right now. Everything that I wanted to get in this chat. So shout out to them. And let's go now. I guess let me do a quick read for the Nation Vacation because it's coming up in March 30th to April 2nd. Visit nationgear.ca for more details. It's going to be an incredible trip. We're going to Vegas, baby. We're going to see the Oilers taking on the Golden Knights, their last game of the season. The Pacific Division is going to be on the line here. Super excited. Shout out to Flair. If you go to nationgear.ca, you can get flight options. You can get non-flight options. And hey, you come down and party if you want to do your own thing. I know a lot of people look at like their own hotels as well. Just come and stay with us, party with us the whole time. But if you got to do that, come on down. The last time we were in Vegas for a Nation Vacation, wake up in the morning, go hit the strip. It was the orangest thing I've ever seen. There was orange and blue all over the strip all day long from like 9 a.m. on. It was absolutely incredible. I had an awesome time there, and I think we're going to have an even better time. Brett, I regret to inform you, I don't think I updated Bordzy's bankroll the very last one.
Ruh-roh.
So I kind of messed that up. What we're going to ride with here, we're just going to do it live. I'll just read them out to you.
We're doing it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. My options that I'm going with tonight, shots on goal, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, over 2.5 is plus 190 right now, okay, people? And he's been shooting the puck way more frequently lately. He is, this is also a BM sponsored bet. He told me I had to do this because plus 190 was so juicy. He has 9 shots on goal in his last 3 games, which would equal to 3 shots a game. We're looking for over 2.5. I also am going Connor, 2+ points. It's plus 110. I stick by my rule. You put a plus sign next to McDavid, 2+ points. I am going to smash that every single time. He only has 33 points in 22 career games against the Avalanche. With those 13 goals last meeting, he did only have 1 assist, but I believe in Connor. And then finally, it's the Evan Bouchard shot prop. We're riding. You should see Reese's face right there. He smiled. Reese is all aboard the Bouchard shot prop. He's been ripping it lately. He had 7 shots on goal last night. He had 4 against Chicago, 10 against Pittsburgh, 5 against Boston. So he's hit this in 4 of his last 5. The only time he didn't, fortunately, I bet on him, and he had a big bagel that evening. 0 shots on goal. Totally blamed Reese the entire time. Bert, what do you like of those 3? We're going Boost shot prop, minus 105. Connor, 2 points, plus 110. Or Nude shot prop, plus 190.
So
I'll update the graphic later, and you can throw red X's. And,
sure, yeah. Perfect. I have made a spider tonight, and 2 of those are in there, and it's not the Nude shot prop. So I like both of those for you. Do you want also, speaking of which, yesterday had a spider going. The only one I missed out on was a Draisaitl 2+ evening, and I was upset. So tonight I made another one.
Back on the horse, baby. Responsibly, only bet what you're willing to lose. Be smart, people.
100%. Oil, money line, of course. Now, obviously, this is a star-studded affair, so I have to add a little bit of flair. McKinnon, over 1.5 points. I know we were talking about the goalies are hot. I think this is going to be a little bit dirty tonight.
2 goals, still hot.
Yeah. No, McDavid over 1.5, so 2+ points. Same thing there. Bouchard over 2.5 shots, so 3+ shots. Excuse me. Draisaitl over half of an assist, so getting 1+ assists tonight. Over 4.5 goals in the game total. A Nurse over a 2+ blocked shots this evening, and Stewie 25+ saves. My save prop hit yesterday with
the save prop's been money lately.
It has been, and you know what? It almost hit in the second period. So I'm sitting here, loved what Picks did last night. Pickles. I'm liking what Stu's going to be doing tonight as well.
Yeah, I'm feeling confident. I like those. We'll track that. We'll track that spider. I laughed at Davin. I hope Kulak and MB tie on blocks every single game.
That'd be dirty.
It's going to be a long road, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every injuries apply too, right? So there's still that aspect too. You can get totally screwed.
And something else that we also did not mention in this too was that we are also likely going to be getting some sort of tracker. I don't want to make
we'll get a
false
graphic.
promises.
We'll get a graphic.
But so that we can all pay attention to what's going on here.
We're going to be riding. I want you guys at home to be watching and going, was that Emerson or was that Kulak? Who just blocked that shot? Because we're going to be riding this all season long. Finally, shouts out to Odd Company Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for game day. Perfect for every day. You can pick them up both Odd Company locations in the Edmonton area, or check out liquorconnect.com and find out which local liquor stores are carrying that one. So, some of these, also Stevens asked, will the stream show the live feed of the hockey game? That would be illegal, brother. That would be illegal. We would not be allowed to get away with that. Lance, loser has to get a Jeff Skinner tattoo.
I love it.
Like his face? Elaborate more on there. This was another one good from Lance. The tattoo should be Calvin peeing on the Flames logo. Hunter said, get that silver bone from Leonard, 1,000-point ceremony with Kulak and MB. I don't know about that.
That's
Lance,
wild.
what if the loser just got the Oilers Nation logo?
No,
That's
awful.
very easy to do. The real, this is a good one. Fans come up with the tattoo idea, but then you two draw each other's tattoo. That might just be crazy enough to work. Like that, I might put in a more hideable. Are you a good artist?
No.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm absolutely
really
awful.
bad. I used to draw players, like hockey players, when I was a kid. And like they were all right, but they weren't like the visor and the nose look. Every player looked the exact same.
Yeah. I can't do much. Southpaw, this is a very good one. Fucking phenomenal tattoo.
I love this one.
I saw you start that one in
Yeah.
here. I like
Yeah.
that. And then finally, Austin said, Brett, looking at you without even knowing you about your ink, I can totally see you having an armpit tattoo.
Could you imagine?
I was saving that one until
neck down. That's why I wear long sleeves. I just have I'm just added like a
My boy
samurai
inked.
warrior.
My boy
Yeah.
inked. All right, people. Well, be tracking the block shots this evening and every game here on out. I love you all. I appreciate you. Throw down your courtesy like before you head out. Reminder, we'll be live right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube channel right after the hockey game. Me, Brett, and our boy Reese breaking it all down. And one final shout out to all of our sponsors: Sherwood Ford the Giant, Power Sports Marine, Greta Bar Yeg, Willock Beef Jerky, Bet365, Go on the Nation Vacation, and drink Odd Company Nation Beer. Also come down to Brunch for Ben. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Go Brett Kulak. Go. I'm looking for 8 block shots this evening, and I'll talk to you later.